Here's fact number 4 about the Sabbath. Sabbath law was more than just rest. In the law of Moses, there were many layers to Sabbath keeping, not just a weekly day of rest. The Torah describes the Sabbath as a day of convocation or gathering. This is Leviticus 23, verses 2 and 3. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, the feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, these are my feast. 6 days work shall be done, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of solemn rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no work on it. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. The people of God were commanded to celebrate every Sabbath together, not just individually, but also together as a community in an assembly. The Torah also commanded specific sacrifices on each Sabbath. Numbers 28, verses 9 and 10. And on the Sabbath day, 2 lambs in their first year without blemish, and 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering, mixed with oil with its drink offering. This is the burnt offering for every Sabbath, besides the regular burnt offering with its drink offering. The Torah also included Sabbath years for the land to rest. This is Leviticus 25, verses 2 through 4. When you come into the land which I will give you, then the land shall keep a Sabbath to the Lord. 6 years you shall sow your fields, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and gather its fruit. But in the 7th year there shall be a Sabbath of solemn rest for the land, a Sabbath to the Lord. You shall neither sow your field nor prune your vineyard. The law also implemented a year of Jubilee. This occurred every 50th year after the 7th sabbatical cycle. This is Leviticus 25, verse 10. And you shall consecrate the 50th year and proclaim liberty throughout all the land to all its inhabitants. It shall be a Jubilee for you, and each of you shall return to his possession, and each of you shall return to his family. So in this year of Jubilee, slaves were set free, debts were canceled, and property was returned to its original families. This brings us to an important point. No one today is actually keeping the Sabbath according to the law. I don't know anyone who keeps all of the Sabbath requirements or is even particularly serious about keeping the Sabbath laws. I know people who rest on Saturdays, and I know some who assemble on the Sabbath, but I don't know anyone who fulfills the Sabbath sacrifices, the Sabbath years, or the year of Jubilee. I understand there could be questions about how Torah observers today could keep some of these laws, but consider this, for example. Most Torah observers today don't live in the land of Israel, but does that void the Father's command to let the land rest? If we are binding ourselves to the law of Moses, how could we justify not observing the Sabbath years, no matter where we live? Like David said, the earth is the Lord's and all its fullness. The Father did not institute Sabbath years because he needed it. He instituted it because the people needed it. As Jesus said, the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. Sabbath years were an exercise in faith. Leviticus 25, verses 20 and 21. And if you say, what shall we eat in the 7th year, since we shall not sow nor gather in our produce? Then I will command my blessing on you in the 6th year, and it will bring forth produce enough for 3 years. My point is that Sabbath law required more than just rest. If that law is binding, or if we are binding ourselves to that law, we dare not excuse ourselves from obeying it. My observation has been that even the most enthusiastic Torah observers today do not seriously attempt to keep the Sabbath in all of its fullness. So in this way, there are no Torah observers today.